Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video, we're going to take a look at what the Cardano price is doing and also what Bitcoin is doing very briefly. But what we can see with Cardano already here on the Coinbase chart is that Coinbase, compared to the other cryptos, is moving to the upside. So the question is, has Cardano already seen the bottom? And I think a lot of that buying is now related to today's Cardano Summit. It's a big day for Cardano holders. I'm sure you all can't wait for it to start. I can't wait for it, but it's certainly looking very promising, very interesting. We've made new highs on the Cardano chart, performing really well compared to some of the other cryptos. So finally, really a good start to the day for Cardano. And we're going to take a look at what is currently happening. And, before we start, again, thanks to all of your support, all the likes, all the comments. Please continue to do so. Please check my second channel out in the description, on which I teach technical analysis, and also consider the channel membership if you really like the content and want to support me and want some closer interaction in live chats and live YouTube streams. Okay, so as always, we start quickly with Bitcoin, then we take a look at the Cardano chart, and then we take a look at what the Elliott Wave count could be if there's an update. And let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin yesterday, strong drop. You guys know that we came back to that descending trend line, started to move up again, but now it seems to be losing steam again. To be honest, the indicators on the daily still don't look good. We can identify now here that we are still below the 50 on the RSI, which indicates just a bearish momentum still. And also we can see that the MACD is going down. And to be honest, it doesn't seem to be slowing down too much. I mean, we have really that move to the downside here. We have these lower wicks, and Bitcoin doesn't really slow down at the moment in its move to the downside. On the bigger picture, it doesn't, because we came down all the way from here, then we moved to the upside, moved down again, now retracement to the upside again. So there could be one final move to the downside. I've been saying that for a while now, and I'm still sort of expecting that, even though, whenever Bitcoin is going up, people are very, very happy. Of course, we all are. But let's be honest, there could really be that final move to the downside. So in that huge correction here, you could have had your wave A, wave B, and the wave C, and that might not have been finished yet, that wave C correction. And also you can get this C correction actually in 5 parts. So you've got your 1, 2, 3, 4, and that could now be the 5th one, which could then hit somewhere here. And why do I say that? Well, I think as we haven't made a new high yet, I would really want us to really confirm that we are back in the sort of bull run or short-term bull run. I want to get above the 48,500, which is the high that we marked back here earlier in September, middle of September. But since then we've dropped further, try to recover now again, only recovered slightly. I mean, if we draw the Fibonacci level here from that high that we marked in early September to the current low, there you go, then we can see basically, that we retrace back to the point 618 Fibonacci retracement level, and from there we bounced off and might continue another move to the downside now. It's a bit of a bearish scenario, but I did say that I expect really a bottom potentially down here at 37,500. From then on we move to the upside, and I expect that correction to be finished. Now let's go to the 4-hour or 1-hour chart before we go to Cardano. And here again, we can see that it's currently losing steam a little bit. It has come from down here, recovered when it dropped below that trend line, moved all the way up, dropped yesterday very strongly. We had a sharp buying support down here. It could be something, and it could be something like a cup and handle. It looks very ugly. It's not a very, very clear cup and handle, but you can watch that 43,000 level, I think. That looks like something of a neckline here of this, well, ugly cup and handle. I've got your cup shape here and the handle forming here, and then you could have a breakout above the 43,000. That would be quite good, because that could take us above the 43,500. That could take us above the 44,000. And if we then make a new high, that would be a first indication to me that this downtrend might be finished, because then what you could essentially then have is you finished your C correction down here. You've got your wave 1 to the upside, your wave 2 correction again, and a wave 3 to the upside, which is oftentimes the longest one. So let's see, that is at play here at the moment. Potentially, if we see that move to the upside above that high, that could be a beginning of a new 1, 2, 3, you know, on a smaller scale, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulsive move to the upside based on Elliott Waves. But here on the hourly at the moment, and that's why I'm not too confident about that, you know, the RSI is still below 50. Also here on the RSI is also here on the 1 hour chart, and we've seen a bearish divergence yesterday where prices were still going up, even though slightly. You can see that here, but from that wave to that wave, we had a bearish divergence on the RSI. So always pay attention to bearish divergences. That is very important, and they can really predict a lot. That's a really first heads up. Don't only use that, you know, use moving averages as well. Use price action, use the MACD, and then you have a really good picture of what is going on. Cardano, let's go to Cardano. Cardano here on the hourly chart at the moment. Just want to show you where we are. A similar picture to Bitcoin, where we have come from up here, and I just want to show you that it's a similar picture actually. We've come from up here, and if I from that corrective wave here from up there at $3.10 to down to 190 pretty much, if I put the Fibonacci retracement levels on, you can see that in the current retracement to the if you take the other way around to the upside, we've actually retraced to the 0.618 Fibonacci retracement level. That is where exactly here we are currently hitting that retracement level. Exactly here where we currently find some resistance, but that is typically, and that is also what makes me now a little bit more confident that we could actually have seen the bottom of the C correction down here. You know, from here, from that bottom, we have now moved up in a potentially corrective way, in a potentially impulsive move 1. Then we might already have seen that corrective wave 2, and we might now be in a move 3 to the upside again. So we need to observe if that is really pushing through here, or if we drop down once more, as I said, to maybe 185. That is very important to look at. I think if we break through that 236 level, that could really push us and really could be a good indicator that we are on our way up again. And that would be really nice to see. I mean, a lot of that buying pressure here is probably related to the Cardano Summit at the moment, but we could still have a small 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 move here to the upside, where that would have been the first wave. That might have been the second one, which typically comes down quite far. And then the third one is typically the longest one. And this is only on a smaller scale. But yeah, Cardano is doing really well at the moment. And we've broken above that. We've broken above that descending wedge here that has been forming. And I take out the Bollinger Bands from here at the moment. But yeah, Cardano is looking certainly more bullish than Bitcoin, because you can also see it on the RSI here, where we haven't had that bearish divergence that we've actually seen on the Bitcoin chart. So whenever the price was going up, the RSI was really following. It was losing a bit of momentum here, but we didn't have that bearish divergence. It was pretty much flat here before it went into the, and it couldn't really get into the 70 level, not into overbought territory, which might also have been a reason why we didn't drop down that far. Here on the price chart yesterday, where Bitcoin dropped much further and Cardano really recovered very nicely. And this is really looking nice. I mean, we've been above this trend line now here for a while. We tried to break back in, managed to get above again. We're above some of these key resistance levels here, 218, we had 225 on there, we had 230 on there. And I did say yesterday, as long as we get above 230, that would be a first really bullish indicator, because you know, remember that 230 level here on the hourly, it is that level that, you know, above that level we formed that head and shoulders. We had that descending triangle, and I go back to the 4-hour chart, might be a bit more, you know, better visible. Let's just go on the 4-hour. Yeah, a bit clearer here, I think. You know, above that level, we had the head and shoulders, we had the descending triangle. We've broken above that line here in a very nice move actually. And here on the 4-hour chart, you can actually very nicely see that, 1, 2, and potentially now we're forming a third move to the upside. So very interesting, and it could really have been here, especially for Cardano, which is now performing really well. That could have really been already the downside then. What I think we need to get above now certainly is here there is some resistance, which is I think that last high here, probably at 243 I think, because you had that high here forming and resistance here as well, resistance here as well. That was even a breakout point here to the upside. So I think the next level to watch is 243. If we pump higher, we need to get above 243. That would then allow us to get above this last high here. And this is also a level, as I said, where we had resistance before. And then we've got the 255 level where we had resistance here. And if we go further back, here was a resistance point as well. There was resistance here. Here we tried to break above it, failed. So that's another important level. And then we can possibly move. You see, last time that happened, we moved last time we broke here the $2.43, which I think is like the next level. That really always took us, here it took us to 255 and here it took us to 280. So I think the 243 level is an important one to watch. That's what I'm waiting for now. I just showed you that we are currently at a Fibonacci retracement level here on the daily. So we just need to, or wasn't on the hourly, but it is a Fibonacci retracement level from that ABC correction from when we retraced back to the upside. So that is why we are currently finding some resistance here. So we need to get above that as well. And then above 243, above 255 and above 280. And if we're above 280, that's for me one of the most crucial levels, because this is where that head and shoulders pattern had its top. And this is also when we really started to move to the downside here in this huge correction. One move to the downside and descending triangle, another move to the downside, and could be really that we have already seen the low here, especially with this impulsive move to the upside now, which in my view does not confirm yet that we've seen the low yet, but as long as we get above 243 as well, I'm getting more and more bullish. And here on the hourly or the 4 hour, which we can't see for Bitcoin, we are already in the bullish range on the RSI. And here on the MACD, we formed that bullish cross, and we've even crossed above the 0 line. So I expect a little bit more move to the upside certainly now, and it could really be that we are now in a move to the upside again. So I think that's all really good news. And I think, we had the buying opportunities down there around $2, even below $2, even at $2.10. And for everybody who used these low prices now to buy in, I think really good news what's going on now. Really nice price moves, especially now when we have the summit coming up as well. And yeah, so watch these price targets and enjoy the day. See you later. Bye-bye.